Hey guys, it's your boy TG, and yeah, bring it from the bottom. You're locked into the postseason debate on Goode Got You. Across the screen is Cheryl Green and Marcus Ojolaya beside me, and I'm your host Marquez Goode. And it's been a hell of a night. And the Super Bowl 55 ended in a rude awakening. The whole Goode Got You Entertainment squad was 0-1 today across the board. And I felt, you sometimes feel that energy before I get into the stat. You feel that energy when everybody starts selecting the same team. You're like, it may not go good, but let me count my dollars and put it in the barrel. And I did, and then I'm coughing up some cash. But I'm breaking down the stats real quickly, and then we get to the store. Patrick Mahomes and them didn't really do that good. 9 points total, 3 field goals today. Who? Tom Brady and the Bucks. They say Tampa Bay, if you must. 31 points. They did it all around the boards, defensively ending the game tonight. But let's talk about the little bit of stats right here. Patrick Mahomes, 26 of 49. We got 270 yards passing and 2 interceptions. Didn't catch no air today. While Tom Brady, you know, reigning the best guy in the world of all athletes, he's trying to say, 21 of 29, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns. While the running back core did do the difference too. Edwards, I think it's a layer, 9 of 64 yards, and then Leonard Fournette, 16 of 89 yards, 1 touchdown. The difference maker there, yes, a lot. Defense came into the factor. I did say special teams, but that wasn't even a favorite tonight for either team. But let's get into the conversation. There's a lot to talk about. The baby goat seemed like he didn't get no breast milk at all tonight, and the goat took all the milk out of the refrigerator. And I mean, it let all of, I mean, and, it was so much, Cheryl. And I mean, what was your take on the game? Tom Brady, I mean, they got in the mind of the Chiefs all the way around. They roughed up Mahomes. They almost looked like, no lie, guys. They almost reminded me of the Green Bay Packers in a few weeks in the regular season when the bad man arrived. It looked similar. Like they rushed Mahomes. Mahomes couldn't do nothing. He did make a couple passes that made me go, "Wow, you can clearly off the ground floating, and he still made a dart." That was the only outstanding thing I've seen all night long, except for that brutal hit that they tried to take out Patrick Mahomes, which I think somebody should be suspended, even though it's the end of the season. But that should carry over. They hit that man in the helmet. They tried to hurt his leg. It was a bunch of things. But some people go, "Oh, you saying it because you picked the team?" No, that's just sports in general. I don't like dirtiness. If you can win a game, just play fair. That's all you got to do. Exactly. They say refs came a factor. The penalties, it really wasn't the refs. The team was just doing their own dirt. I mean, everybody said he threw this for Tom. He did this for Tom. Did it for Tom. That's not for Tom. The penalties out there, that's what they coughed up. But Cheryl, what did you get out that game? I mean, there's a lot of dirt, a lot of nitty gritty, and just plain out ugly for the Chiefs.
Well, I think that first of all, Tampa, they came to play. They had something to prove. They were, the home favorites, so they had to win the game. Although I think the refs just should have let them play. I think they threw a little too many flags on the play. The baby goat, I think we all had our money, our dark money riding on the baby goat, and we lost that dark money. So they didn't come to play. They came with a lot of energy. Well, they came to play, but they came with a lot of energy, but they just couldn't put that energy in the right plays. And I think the fact that they got there the day of the game, that played a factor because they wasn't able to get climatized to the weather coming out of cold weather, in Kansas City. So I think that could have had a little bit to do with how they played tonight. And then, that adrenaline was just there, and I think that looking at the baby goat, he tried, he just didn't have it tonight. The team just didn't have it.
I completely agree with that, and it's a lot more to talk about. And especially if he just didn't have it, like that is the key. I mean, I don't even know. Between you look at two quarterbacks, you just like that game. We all was sitting here a few hours ago going, "Hey, it's going to be a tight one," and it ended up turning into devastation. I mean, you look at that game like, well, I'm saying, like Cheryl was, we looked at group chat and we go, if Cleveland was there, they would have did better. Pittsburgh was there when they did. All these teams that did better, but then we go,
Well, we ain't gonna say Pittsburgh
the
now. We ain't gonna say Pittsburgh. We ain't gonna say Pittsburgh.
but the Bucks actually, like she said, they came ready to play and not just, oh, I'm big and bad on the screen. They came out to the field and said, this is our house. You saw it when they caught the last interception. That dude said, this is ours. You can only know the words, my house. And this is all. They came with it. You defended the land. And then they said Tom Brady needed it. They wanted it better. Gronkowski. You got all these guys. You got Fournette that wanted the ring. You got a lot of veterans that played on the team. I mean, the Chiefs did too, but it's about how bad do you want it. That's what they get to in championship games. The dog comes out.
Yeah, it was Brady and Gronkowski. It was their show in the first half. I think that's when Kansas City got taken out the game because they couldn't bounce back, even though they went back at halftime. They tried to recuperate, and do the hug and try to get some momentum in the locker room. It just wasn't there. I think they got deflated in the first half, and Pat Mahomes, that little pinky toe started to hurt a little bit, but he tried to overcome. It just didn't happen for him tonight.
It didn't. Before we get to you, just saying a little bit more is the fact that, like Gronkowski, I know me and behind the screens and Mo that helps out with the cameras and all the other nooks and crannies. My good friend, we were talking during the game and we're like, the whole season they use Gronkowski as a blocking tight end. Most teams do that. I've seen the 49ers do it. They use their tight end just as a sole blocker. He's another lineman. And then out of nowhere, in the middle of the playoffs, normally the championship game, going into the Super Bowl, he starts to become a big. That's what they did Gronkowski. They hit him like an offensive lineman, and then out of nowhere, he started coming down. And Brady never – you saw someone on the sideline. My last thing I'm saying, they did not get frustrated. Brady probably got frustrated because that's Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the night, the Chiefs were over there. Hi, you. They were doing that. And once your team starts defensive linemen going over there, shaking your running back and all this stuff, that's when you know. And before that, you had Patrick Mahomes' toe injury. You had Andy Reid's son that's on the damn coaching staff hit somebody and take somebody to the hospital. That stuff that you can see the mental drainness of the team. You can look at Patrick Mahomes. That 2-day rest period, like Cheryl has said, he didn't get enough rest. You can see under his eyes. You can tell when somebody don't get enough rest. Even though they might all got bags, when you don't get that enough rest, all your face, you can tell something was wrong. And he put everything on the line. And sometimes you got to say the second string needs to come in. Sometimes you got to say that. Chad Henne, would he do anything better? I don't know. Would they probably never know? Never know. But what's your take of tonight's game? We talked about a lot at halftime, but we didn't see nothing get any better.
It's just like what you said with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said in the halftime show, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, I just feel like they were just doing too much just to get anything going. And once you do too much, that results, it just continues to show each and every single time. And by them doing too much, they couldn't really get to how we were used to seeing far as we just wasn't used to seeing far as the Kansas City Chiefs playing their normal style of football.
I think we lost Cheryl to technical difficulties, but we are going to say that Tampa Bay Bucks hasn't been in the Super Bowl. I think she's coming back in, and I'm going to share this when we get there. Add her back to the stream and see how this goes. I think we lost you, but he just chalked it up. And one thing we're getting to, it's been since 2002. And one thing I do like to shed a light on, I know the family of them is Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator of the Bucks, is actually from my city is Lynchburg, and then right above the creek is a city, as a little town, literally between the deafs and the born children. The city goes to a county because of the number of people that live there. That's how small Bedford is. And he's from an area called Bedford. Some kind of said Bedford City, some part of the year said Bedford County. He's born there. Lynchburg and them, we got a tight bond between the county and area. And I know his family. I know they're proud because he went from a quarterback with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You probably nobody really know probably of it. And then he went to be offensive coordinator. Now has 2 rings. And that adds on 2002. Imagine where we were at 2002. We were barely pushing
some little youngsters.
We were sitting in probably preschool.
Yeah, y'all were. Yeah, y'all probably were.
If we even hit that, that's what I mean. We almost. Well, yeah, it's on 2 decades. I mean, that long ago, like that long ago, we were talking about. Goodness gracious! But it's so.
What do you think about Antonio Brown?
I think that he didn't really. I didn't really, as much as he shedded light. I'm glad that he had all this stuff happen in his life. That it could be a turnaround. Some people go, once you go bad, you can't come back. Like some people say, once you start doing this, and this, you can't come back. But they don't say that about the other athletes. They say it about certain ones. Mm-hmm. And I was one of the people who said, once you go that way, he ain't coming back. And that guy tonight, I'm trying to look at the stats while we're talking, and it's just like, he caught 5. He had 5 receptions, 22 yards in the TD.
Mm-hmm.
I was the Bucks right now. I'll be looking at Big Ben and go, your time is up because you're the reason why we got rid of him. I mean, he got rid of himself, but all due. I'm glad he made a turnaround because some players making it be a cancer, and I've been screaming it all year long. Oh no, don't get AB. He can become a cancer to the team.
And on top of that, with Antonio Brown, he turned himself around the right and proper way as as an NFL player should turn themselves around. You just don't want to be an NFL player with too much distraction going on in whether it's your past life or your present life. You just don't want that to be a distraction towards yourself.
Yeah. So I think, what do you think about Hill? Did they shut him down, or what do you think? He just wasn't in it tonight, or?
I just think my thing is, I don't even want to say they weren't in it to win it. It was one of these things that they had a lot of leaks in the roof, and when guess what? You have a house and you're trying to sell it, and you know it's horrible. You try to be silly putty to cover the holes until the other people move in, you get your check and you run. And that's what happened. These were leaks in the roof that need to be fixed. But just like Green Bay, I'm a Packers fan, I'm it too. Just like our team, we had a lot of leaks in the roof, but we put silly putty up. And Play-Doh. I say that back, Play-Doh. It covered up for a couple seconds, and then when it rained, it poured. And that's what happened in Tampa. I mean, that's what happened to Kansas City. They learned tonight, you got a lot of issues. You got an offensive line to go get. You have a quarterback that got 8 more years in his contract, one of the highest paid players in the league right now. You better go get him.
He was running for his life out.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was.
The defensive line, that defense of the Tampa Bay Bucks, they showed out.
Well, they did, and they also kept the offense pretty much off the field tonight. The Kansas City defense, man, they were just out there. I mean, they were tired. They had to be tired because they couldn't get a break because the offense wasn't doing anything. It was one time, I think it was in the second half when they got down to get ready to score, and they had to kick a field goal because they couldn't get in the end zone, but they couldn't protect their quarterback. They had him just running all over the place. He couldn't do it by himself, and it appears to me that he was doing a lot to help the team, but the offensive line really wasn't there for him. But at the same token, that Tampa Bay defense, they read that tape, they studied that tape on what's his name, the sprinter, the fastest man in the league right now. They shut him down. They shut him down.
And
both of them.
Got to say this. I'm scrolling through Twitter while we're talking because I'm just trying to figure out some more things. And Robert Griffin gets his first ring on the bench. That's the thing. Players like that get their first ring, and they didn't do nothing.
He did. He put the uniform on and he showed up.
He didn't even get that far because he was hurt. He put on the overthrow and some joggers and went out there with a face mask and got the free.
But he's a part of the team. That's the way the ball bounce sometimes.
But going back to the Kansas City Chiefs and the offense, I do give credit to Travis Kelce for giving it his all. I mean, even though the Kansas City Chiefs offense wasn't doing as good as we were used to seeing all season, the Travis Kelce, he definitely came to play, but it's not up to him to really like shed that light or be that factor of the Kansas City Chiefs offense. That Kansas City Chiefs offense as a whole, they need to step up.
They got a lot of stepping up. They got a lot of time because we got a couple months before the season comes back around in the draft, and it'll be a long night. They did give a stat out about next gen. They said Patrick Mahomes ran a total of 497 yards before his passes / sack tonight. So that means he scrambled that much. That's 500 yards.
That's ridiculous for a quarterback.
Running for when y'all say running for his life, that shows the definition. And next gen stats have monitors out there on the field tracking that person's every step, and the cameras are accurate.
Crazy.
497 yards. You didn't get a touchdown. I mean, the last person we seen do that was literally RG3 when he has whipped the Redskins before they changed their name. Whipped the Redskins, and that's when he was running for his life. And then the same thing is, do you think that Patrick Mahomes would ever get to Tom Brady's career? Like right now, we're at that point where he's in the first game. First, you think he kept chalking up and he get there. Do you think he surpassed Tom Brady?
I would say it's possible, but at the same time, Patrick Mahomes, he's still young. He's 25. He has a long way to go.
Cheryl, what's your thoughts on that?
Do I think he can get there? It's a possibility that he can get there, but do I think he will get there with the Kansas City Chiefs? He may get a couple more, but then he may go to another team or so, and win a couple of Super Bowls there. But I don't think he will do it all in Kansas City. But yes, there is a possibility that he could, exceed the GOAT.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I hope he don't get what I'm considering the Roger effect. The only reason I say this is because only quarterback I've seen get this much pressure is Aaron Rodgers. And I watch a bunch of teams all year long. And Rodgers is a great bad man and one of the many QBs. But the team does not build around him. Ownership don't build around him. When the dog barks and goes, I need help, they don't build around you. What do you expect? And this is what I feel. I'm afraid that when Andy Reid does get out, and Andy Reid, whatever time he says, I'm done. Because Andy Reid's old now. He should be saying it's time to go. I say it tonight. I mean, I'm thinking of losing. You go one and you lose one. You kind of like, all right, it's over. Shut it down. Brady. But Cheryl, I want to ask you this question. How do you feel about Tom Brady playing? I mean, he got 7. He said he is the baddest man now. He's surpassed everybody in rings. But how do you feel about Brady saying, and he's probably going to do it tonight. I didn't get to watch the celebration of what he's going to say. Playing past he's 45. The dude's 43. That means 2 more seasons and counting.
If he stay on for 2 more seasons, he'll be more in the mentoring phase. He'll get out there and he'll play, but keep in mind his bones is a little bit fragile, and he know that he's gonna definitely have to pass the torch. As far as him getting any more Super Bowl rings, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think this is his time, and if he don't retire, he'll be in the league just to pass on his skills and mentor those up and coming quarterbacks, and then he'll fade out.
Some people say Tom Brady's made of metal. You rip the jersey off and you're just going to see like a transformer coming out. But this man has played in, look at how many decades. I mean, he'll be talking about, some people our age are talking about having kids already had them, so they're already growing up seeing them. And you think about my generation, look at Patrick Mahomes. You played against somebody you watched when you grew up and probably wanted to be. They did name the MVP, and the MVP tonight is Tom Brady. Tom Brady got 3 touchdowns tonight. Brady, even though he got hit, he got frustrated at the beginning of the game with the Honey Badger. No doubt in my mind. I don't know what they say when somebody mumbling in your ear, you can't read it. You don't know. He could have said something about his daddy, his mama. He could have said anything. His kids.
And then it also follows it up with the taunting that Tyrann Mathieu did to Tom Brady. And that's when Tom Brady, he like walked up to him, sort of jogging, saying something to Tyrann Mathieu that really made Tom Brady feel mad, feel angry.
So was it defense that won that game, or offensively did the Bucs win that game?
It was the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that won that game for sure. It was the defense that won that game. The offense came to play, but the defense won the game.
Yes. Also, we had several. A more different note that we had during the game. ESPN's baseball long reporter, Pedro Gomez, baseball guy. I looked to him. One of the guys I watched, he passed away at 58 moments ago. That was another university. I forgot the university's name, but one of the coaching staff members passed away. He was actually one of the first African American coaches to do something. I couldn't remember total stats. I saw that during the game. He also passed away at age 60 something. I can't really remember. It's crazy that stuff like that happens to good people, but we all got to hit a birthday and a death date. That's unfortunate with the death date, but it all has to happen to us, and we never know when that day may come.
Yep.
Tonight has been a crazy game. I couldn't even imagine. I'm still kind of like, I got to wake up tomorrow and cut the lights on and see if it happened.
Because I know all of us was expecting a more competitive game and not just like me myself. Like just watching that score, I was just stunned.
Well, I wasn't stunned because either you come to play or you just, get off the plane, show up and, put your clothes back on and you go back home and say, we'll try it again, next year. But like I said, in that first half, I think the first quarter, that's when I believe Kansas City got shut down when Tampa Bay got that first touchdown. It was over. I think they knocked the wind out of those guys. And then they just started playing like they was the practice squad. That's what I got out of it. With all those flags being thrown all out over the field, all over the place. But, they could have kept the little laundry in their pockets and just let those guys play. And I think it would have been a better game. So I think besides playing their style of game and not getting the flag, I think that kind of took the little momentum that they had away from them.
That makes sense. And one thing is, I want to ask you a more funny note. What was your expectations, and did your expectations get fulfilled of the halftime performance? That another cloud buster for me. I was just like, what?
I'm still dizzy. That's why I had to go get me something to eat. That's why I couldn't come on your halftime show, because I was eating because I got dizzy. What the world was that?
He said he paid extra $7 million. I want to figure out where that went to.
For 12 minutes.
Well, I tell you what, they could have got somebody else to do that, because he had me dizzy. I didn't know what that was all about. And I thought that was a Beyonce concert. What was that one? That one song she got where she changed clothes like 80 times.
I know what you're talking about, but I
I'm like, they could have kept that.
It's called Freakum Dress.
It might have been that. I think that was it.
I think it was Freakum Dress, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
I just know no, it wasn't Freakum Dress. It was with something close to Lemonade, but it wasn't Lemonade. It was a video, something similar to that video.
I know what you're talking about. I can't get the name either. I know what you're talking about.
But she changed clothes like 80 times in that video. So
some people Twitter during that time, they said he looked like the guys from Us when the little kid walked from the fire in the car.
Oh, yeah.
He looked like. Well, I don't. They said it was some kind of. That was made that something happened to him, and that he looked like that. At I guess a car accident or some kind of incident happened, and that's the way he wanted to come out. And
well,
it's that's not a look.
He'll hear about it from his friends. They'll tell him.
They definitely will. But again, your Super Bowl 55 champions. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady moved on 7 rings. Mahomes gets shut down. Looking forward to the draft. We got a lot more to talk about. Not tonight.
Not only the draft, but free agency.
Free agency is definitely coming up. We'll see how that goes because a lot of players be moved around. Not even to mention Gronkowski. And during this thing, before the season, got called out of retirement. That's another use thing to look at. So when is it time to hang up the cleats? We'll talk about that next show. Because even though when you hang the cleats up, can you take them off the wall and reuse them again? That's another thing. But next show, Thursday night, 6:30, 6:45-ish, depends on how we feeling. And what I got to be doing is we'll be here talking about the NBA and seeing not even the Brooklyn Nets and talking about what can be happen. But let's talk about LA and the battle of LA and see if the Clippers are even relevant now because of what they got busted with the with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm already mad about that because I'm a Clippers fan.
Oh, we can see it.
Yeah. But
So all I gotta say is congrats to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They did a really good job tonight. But however, had they played the Cleveland Browns, it would have been a different score.
And so
all I gotta say.
So if Green Bay would have replaced the Bucks and we'd have played you guys in the Super Bowl. Oh, don't forget about the Ravens. We all wish we was there. I think that food that got the blood pressure a little raised enough. You ate a lot tonight.
Well, as we Cleveland fans will tell anybody, the Baltimore Ravens is an extension Cleveland Browns team. They all get to wear this jersey number. Look at that. 32. Y'all know who that is, right?
Oh, really?
Jim Brown, baby.
I like Jim. I like him, but I don't like him. But I'm gonna let him live. He's still here with us. But no, on a more serious note, we had the ball tonight, and we got a podcast Thursday night. I say 6:30, but it can fluctuate with time depending on what the crew has to do. But again, Super Bowl 55, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They won. That's the name of the game. We move on to the new season. But again, guys, Thursday night, 6:30. We'll see you there. From Marcus Ojalio, Cheryl, and Marquez, we saying good night. Be blessed. Say the rest. We out. Deuces, guys.